Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you gathered here today for the Quantum Technology Awareness Session. We're truly honored to have with us our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Sanjay Chittore, founder and CEO of Quantum AI Global, Hyderabad. His remarkable contributions and expertise in the field of quantum technology and artificial intelligence makes this session a highly valuable opportunity for all of us to learn and gain insights into the future of innovation. Quantum technology is rapidly transforming the way we understand computing, communication, and problem solving. Today's session is not just an event but a gateway to explore cutting edge advancements that will support tomorrow's world. I'm confident that this session will inspire curiosity, deepen our understanding, and motivate us to explore new possibilities in this fascinating domain. I extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. S. Geeta, HOD and Dean of CSE Department for her efforts in making this session possible. I also welcome Dr. Cyril Ratza, Additional Registrar, Dr. Malini Pandey, Joint Registrar, and Heads of the Allied Departments, Dr. T. Dinesh Kumar Sir, HOD CS, Dr. T. V. Anandan, HOD CSEAI, and Dr. T. Kripadevi, HOD DSNEI. Once again, I warmly welcome our respected speaker and each one of you to this enlightening session. I hope you all have a truly enriching and insightful experience. Now, I would like to invite Dr. V. Cyril Ratza, Additional Registrar, to address the gathering.
Respected Dr. Malini Pandey, Additional Registrar of our University, respected Chief Guest of today's program, Mr. Sanjay from Quantum AI Global, Hyderabad, respected Head of the Department, as well as Dean of Computer Science, Dr. Geeta, faculty friends, and beloved students. Today, our university is planning to have one more very potent arm in its arsenal. That's what I can say. I think you are aware how the wars are being fought across Middle East as well as across Ukraine and the Russia war. So the tactics and then the warfare methodology and then the type of weapons that decides who win the war. So how powerful you are, but the same way, see what is the tool methodology that you adapt, so it also matters. So now to uniquely identify our university in this frontier technology called as quantum. I think dear students, you are aware already the silicon domain has come to the saturation. You are aware about the Moore's law. That is, it says that every 2 years the packing density of semiconductor, which is the components which are arranged in this integrated chip are doubled. But right now that law is getting saturated, so obviously where we need to have the different type of computing, that is the quantum computing. Where the speed of the quantum computing and then the type of applications that quantum computing is going to give, all these things will be ruling when you are in the peak of your career. Understand? Right now it is in the nascent stage, but we have not yet started. But there are people who have already started and then journeying in that particular direction. I think some of you are aware. Have anybody learned RS algorithm? Have anybody learned RS algorithm? Yes, you are aware of this RS algorithm. What is the principle behind the RS algorithm? Taking two prime numbers. That is n equal to P, P and then Q. So these P and then Q are large prime numbers where the factorization is the key pointer. So where with this existing the public key cryptography with the RS algorithm, definitely with this existing computing power, if you try to decrypt what is the private key of that particular the communication or the encryption, it will take infinite time right now. It will take infinite time. So that means you cannot decrypt it. Understand? If any content is encrypted with RS algorithm with existing computing power, you cannot decrypt it. The crypt analysis becomes waste. You cannot achieve it. But at the same way, quantum computing is used. Listen to me carefully. If a quantum computing is used, so definitely it can be decrypted. The crypt analysis can be done so that the secrecy of the encryption process, what you have done, can be decrypted with this quantum computing. So such a powerful domain. So again, in the quantum computing as well as in the quantum communication as well as quantum QKD, that is quantum key distribution, all these domains are going to rule the entire computing and as well as communication domain. At the same time, what we claim as security practices are going to be nullified in the coming days. So for this availability of quantum computing, security issues will be again easily targeted. So we need to find out how we have to enable more security with quantum computing, all these things. So dear students, so keeping all these things in mind, our university wanted to be a frontier in this particular application. So last year, our president has given a very clear instruction to all of us that our department should start computing science along with the honors degree program of quantum computing also. So from your junior batch onwards, we are going to roll out these computing science with the honors degree in quantum computing also, where additional 20 more credits will be there. So 6 more subjects will be taught on, as already told you, on the some of the niche upcoming technologies of quantum computing, which will, as already told you, which will be ruling the domain in this within another 5-10 years. So dear students, I don't want to take much of this time. Rather, I will tell how I have come into computing science, where during 80s, nobody has started learning programming languages. So they felt that learning programming languages may be a difficult task. Nobody has accepted it, but during the time, I have initiated and then I took a career, very strong opportunities were given to me just because of that particular knowledge of taking up the new challenges. The same thing, let me tell another very crude example also. Have you been to Mumbai Mumbai suburban train? Have you journeyed on Mumbai suburban train? Anybody have that? Got that experience? Anybody? No. Let me explain you what is the scenario behind that. If you wanted to say have a ride on the Mumbai suburban train where they will earmark a space. Understand? They will earmark a space where they will say that whoever wanted to board the train, they say that you go and then stand in the specified location. Understand? So if you stand in the specified location, when the train comes, understand? All the people will push you. You may not take any initiative. Listen to me carefully. You need not take any initiative. Just only thing is you have to go stand in that space. The rest of the people will take care of pushing you inside the train. At the same way, when you want to deboard the train, what you are supposed to do is again you have to go stand near the door of the train before the arrival of the next station. So the people behind you or surrounding you will take care of making you to deboard the train. So this is the scenario. I am trying to relate the same thing is going to happen if you have a minimal knowledge on this quantum computing. Try to understand it. If you have a knowledge, basic knowledge on quantum computing, because it is an upcoming domain, so you will be preferred than a person who says I'm not aware of any quantum technologies. Here, so this is the right time to get into. Now we have to thank Dr. Morley for bringing such a renowned organization to us for signing an MOU and holding us to impart this valuable knowledge to all our student community. So with this, let me once again thank Dr. Geeta for providing such a wonderful opportunity to our students community. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for your remarkable words. I now again request Dr. V. CSEDept sir, Additional Registrar, Dr. Manani Pandian ma'am, and Dr. Geeta ma'am to kindly come forward and felicitate Mr. Sanjay Chittore sir as a token. Before that, I request Dr. Manani Pandian ma'am, Additional Registrar, to kindly share a few words.
So, very good morning to all of you. Dr. Sanjay, our Additional Registrar, who's always been the pillar of support for Computer Science Department. The chief guest today, Mr. Sanjay, and the Dean and Head of the Department, Dr. Geeta, my dear students, faculty members. I keep, in so many forums, I keep telling about how in Dr. M.G.R. University, we think not just about the problem that is there, we also think about the solution. What is the problem that we have been talking about for the last so many years? It's become rather a very cliche term to say that there is a gap between what the students learn, that is academics, and what the students do in the industry. We keep talking about that gap and how to bridge the gap. So while the problem is visible to everybody, what is the solution? How do we bridge the gap? When industry practitioners come and tell us that our students are not job ready, they are not employable. We know the problem. I think all the universities know the problem. We talk about it time and again. What do we do to solve the problem? So I think our university, our management has that vision, not just to see the problem, but also be able to take action at the right moment. And like Dr. CSEDept told here, quantum is the next thing now. We have been talking about computer science, we talked about data sciences, we talked about AI, and now we talk about quantum technology. Keeping that in mind, we have introduced this, it's a BTech program that is going to come up, and more relevant for the students sitting here today. I heard that you all are, most of you are from third year. So all these students who are here, you can also utilize this opportunity. We are planning to start some short-term certificate courses in the field of quantum technology across all the engineering domains. So all the students here who want to learn, who have missed the bus probably by being late by 2-3 years, need not feel bad about it. The university has thought for that group of students also. You can come and reach out to Dr. Geeta. We will soon start some certificate courses, planning to set up a center of excellence here, and you can learn something about quantum technology before you go to the industry. And I cannot overplay the importance of skilling. As I'll tell you just a short story, and then with that I close it. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple Computers, was studying in Reeds College, and he dropped out of his regular program and enrolled for a program in calligraphy. Calligraphy is the science of handwriting. Why did he enroll for that program? Just because he had a passion for that. He did not know that what he is learning today is going to help him in the future. He had no idea. It was just out of passion. He learned the skill of the science of handwriting. And when he designed Apple Computers, he says that this knowledge of calligraphy helped me while I designed the fonts and the typefaces for Apple Computers. So he says that, a very beautiful line, you cannot connect the dots moving forward, you can only connect them going backwards. which means the learning, the lessons that you are having here today, what you are getting here today in this campus. You may not realize its value today, but believe me, when you go out of this world, academic world, and go to the corporate or do your own business or entrepreneurship, you will look back and all these skilling programs, all these courses, all these lessons, the small dots are going to connect for you. You will then realize the value of all that we tell, that enroll for extra courses, value-added programs, all these quantum technology related programs. You will realize the value in the future. So please be willing to learn. We can only serve things on a plate. We cannot force you to eat. And that is so many times there's a lot of frustration in the academic community that we keep offering things to the students, but the students need to come forward. So we give you a hand. You need to hold that hand. Is my request to all of you. And thanks to all of you and Dr. Sirindraj especially, who will be there to guide us in our journey here. Thank you. All the best. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Sirindraj sir, Dr. Malini Pandeman and Dr. Geeta ma'am to kindly come forward and felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Sanjay Chittore sir, as a token of our appreciation and gratitude. Thank you. To give us a brief insight into our chief guest journey and achievements, I invite Ms. Sonali of 3rd year CSE to come forward for the guest introduction. A warm morning everyone. It's my privilege and honor to introduce our esteemed guest speaker for today's session, Mr. Sanjay Chittore sir, founder and CEO of Quantum AI Global, Hyderabad. Mr. Sanjay Chittore is a seasoned entrepreneur with over 24 years of rich experience in the field of quantum technologies and artificial intelligence. Under his visionary leadership, Quantum AI Global has grown into a pioneering organization making significant contributions and gaining recognition across the global and the Indian innovation landscape. He is widely regarded as a change maker who is actively transforming quantum science from a laboratory concept into practical, market-ready solution through collaborations with the government bodies, private industries, and academic institutions. One of his remarkable achievements includes leading the development of India's first compact room temperature RT-based warm vapor cell quantum memory technology demonstrator, an innovation that plays a crucial role in shaping the future of quantum internet and communication systems. Mr. Sanjay is known for his visionary mindset and his belief that innovation goes beyond what's next. It's about creating the future itself. His passion for deep technologies and his commitment to pushing boundaries continue to inspire many in the field. As he rightly says, it's not about technology, it's about vision to make it work. Today, we are truly fortunate to have such an inspiring personality among us to share his knowledge, insights on quantum technology. With a great pleasure, I invite Mr. Sanjay Chittore sir to deliver his address. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. That's a long introduction. I don't think I deserve that much, whatever you have read. I'm sure my office have sent you some nice words about me, but I'm just like one of you guys. And thank you, esteemed dignitaries whom I share the dais for calling me here. So, boys and girls, this session I'm not going to bore you talking too much technical. Hear it as a story. I'm here to tell what is this quantum, why it gets, why are we hearing so much about quantum, why the entire world from academia to the government, everyone wants to move to quantum. So I'm here to give you awareness on what is the advancement and how the advancement is going to come in quantum. Quantum is not just a theory. So to start with,
And by the way, you might have seen a very pretty picture of mine. I was shaving my head because of loss in my family, so I don't look anything like that. So, but I'm saying that next time when I come with my hair and I look like that. So, bear with me, and I just want to make sure you don't think that there are two different people coming and talking, right? So, before I get into this quantum, I'm going to do at a very base level. You know, I'm sure here we're talking about someone who knows about RSA. It's very unfortunate that there's only one hand which got raised when Sir asked how many people know RSA. I feel that's a basic, in any encryption. Is anyone from the cyber security here in this room? Okay, these many hands. You are cyber security. You're doing engineering in cyber security. I'm surprised you don't know what is RSA or RSA encryption, but that doesn't hurt much. I think I face the same thing in a lot of colleges. Very few people even know. Whereas when we talk about cyber security, RSA should be basic. But here is the good news. Just because you don't know RSA, from now we don't need to, because RSA is all going to be null and void after here. Even if you know, it's void. So I'm going to cover that why it is the evolution of quantum. So be happy you don't know, but make sure you catch up to the race, especially the cybersecurity people. There's a huge application in quantum for cybersecurity. So I would not take much time. I will start before we get into the subject. I just want to tell you a little bit about us in 1-2 minutes. We are located in 3 different countries. We are around 85 plus employees. We are the second quantum, basically we are a quantum product based company, and we are the second quantum startup in India. We are National Quantum Mission investor, which means Government of India. There's a huge grant, they hold some kind of shares in our company. We have created a few products in quantum. While quantum is still evolving, we have created few products in quantum which are market ready, and we already started selling. Of course, one of our products, which is room temperature rack compatible quantum memory, first in India, second in the world. So there's a lot of creation in quantum we have done. We are 6 years old. We work with almost every academia. We are in collaboration with ISRO. We are in collaboration with Indian Defense, DRDO. So there's not a brand, but why I'm telling our story is it all came from the basics. Whatever I'm going to show you today, talk about quantum today, this entire organization evolved from that little concept. I'm not a technocrat. I don't have any PhDs. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. Right? I'm a mechanical engineer by education, and then I have an MBA. That's all I know. But whatever I'm going to show you today, that's exactly how I have known about quantum. Just because I'm an entrepreneur, I was able to see there's huge potential in this particular technology 7 years ago. However, I understood it, however, I learned it, however, it wowed me. That's exactly what I'm going to tell you here. I'm not going to teach you a subject, nor I'm going to show you a book. The day when I felt this particular thing in quantum 7 years ago, all the way till here, is just that little concept what got into my mind, and I just want to share that concept so I could motivate you. What we do research to productization to commercialization. Any of the people who are interested in making your careers in business, always remember, if you cannot sell something, there is no point in creating anything. So commercialization important. Commercialization means whatever you make, the day you sell it, the day you call yourself as you have commercialized your product. You have earned money on your product, but that's a business thing. Here we are talking about quantum. these are our offices in Hyderabad. This is our quantum lab. It's our corporate office in Hyderabad. And very soon we'll be opening our office in Chennai. We have 13 patents, 3 of them, we have 15 patents total, all in quantum and AI. 3 of the patents are already approved, and most of our products, whatever we do, they are on our patents. Here is the best. From here it starts. What is this quantum technology? So, I'm going to take you a sequence, give you the basics on what is this quantum technology, why the world is singing songs, where are its applications, what is the future in quantum, can you guys find your careers in quantum? Then there is a concept which Sir had already explained. I'm going to take the concept to another level, which he already talked about. Encryptions and RS encryptions not being safe, there's a whole bigger ballgame, right? So I assume based on what I heard from Gita Madam, all of you are from either computer science or AI or more of the IT people. This mic doesn't like me talking again. No, it's good. Students get bored, madam, they have to be few jokes, else there has to be humor. Else, especially if the front rows start yawning, the speaker begins at the speaker, we get demotivated. So just make sure there's some smiles. So, hello? Yeah. So, see, quantum, if you see it, it looks very small. It's absolutely same as the classical word. I'm going to use this word. As of today, whatever digitalization or whatever technological advancements we got, I call that one as classical word, like current word. Today's word, I will use the word classical word, right? And then there's a quantum word. In the classical word, this is at a very high level. I am talking in plain English. You cannot relate exactly to the subject for you guys to understand. As of today, in the classical world, any kind of advancement we got, including the cyber security, it's all based on math. It's all math and computing. Math-based computing. Quantum is physics-based. This is the key difference. Any technological advancement so far we got is basically computation is completely based on math, and here we are going to talk about physics phenomena. I'm going to explain you how these two change the entire ballgame, right? So I will start with the statement that you have a particular computation to be done. You have data. There are a lot of people from data science here, right? How many are from data science? No. So data science, your job is to make the data, kind of optimize the data to facilitate a computation. So let's assume there is a computational problem and there is data, and the data is enormous. Let's assume 10 billion, 20 billion records. And there is a computation problem. Based on that data you need to compute. So if any of this very large complex computation on an enormous amount of data, let's assume the fastest supercomputer in the world, does the computation in 1 year. Let's assume it takes 1 year for it to go across the data, compute, come back with whatever results. The same data, the same problem statement, same computing in quantum world takes 1 minute. It only takes 1 minute. So with this statement, I will explain you why, how quantum works. Whatever computation in the classical world, computation is same. The algorithms are same. In AI, whatever algorithms you are using is same. But the coding, most of the coding in quantum is done in Python only, right? And all the quantum algorithms are written in Python. But the moment physics phenomena comes, how that same computation, how that programming reacts, in a very layman words, I will tell you, quantum computing gets extreme speed and quantum computing, or I would not say quantum computing, quantum phenomena as such. It's quantum physics based, not math based. So what it gets to the table, the basic is it gets extreme speeds, leaps and bounds of speeds, and it's extremely secure. No one can break quantum. Using quantum, you can break RS encryption. Using quantum computing, you can break RS encryption. But quantum computing practically cannot be broken in any which way. As of today, you are talking about the longest prime number encryption, which is impossible to break. But still, it's a number. Even in quantum, you are going to get the key exchanges, but how the keys look, only for you, this keys words I am telling, but how it looks is, let me get to the basics. Quantum is extremely secure. Where it is getting its security from? In classical computing, all you guys, the first subject they taught is all the data, any form of data, whether it's traveling or it's stored in ones and zeros. We all know that, right? You know, it's stored in bits. So it's either 1 or 0. There's nothing other than that. Any kind of data at a very high level, we all learn this one. If I'm sending a message hi from my phone to someone else's WhatsApp, that H is converted into 1001, maybe I is 1100, whatever, and the data gets traveled, it gets flipped onto your phone as hi. But while the data is traveling, it's all ones and zeros. It's nothing other than ones and zeros. In classical world, it's ones and zeros, and it's called bits. Right? Now in quantum world, still it's ones and zeros. Nothing is changing there. Still it's ones and zeros. But when the data is traveling or when the data is stored, it's a little different. So to explain this one, I have taken an example of a coin heads and tails. Imagine a coin, 1 is heads and 0 is tails. No, sorry. 0 is heads and 1 is tails. So the high, as I said, bunch of heads and tails are traveling, or even in storage is bunch of heads and tails. It's either heads or tails. It's either 1 or 0, which goes in classical world. In quantum world, the same coin, which means just imagine the coin flipped in the air. Okay? Imagine the coin flipped in the air. In quantum world, still it's 1 and 0, but the data is traveling or getting stored as any form between 1 and 0. Like, how do I explain this? How many possibilities are there, or how many values are there between 0 and 1? Huh? Infinite. 0.1, 0.11, 0.1111, 0. All the way till it comes to 1. You see my point? There is infinite number, zillion values to do. So in quantum world, a 1 takes any form between a 0 and 1. Which means if a hacker is hacking, okay, let me give you more classical term. In the conventional world, if the hacker is hacking, he has a decryption or encryption code. He's getting bunch of ones and zeros. So he can always transform the message back and he can get what is the information. Because when he hacks, if he has that kind of algorithm, very powerful algorithm, when he hacks, he'll get all the data, whatever is traveling or whatever is stored. Whatever is stored, they're all in ones and zeros. So he can decrypt that. But in quantum, same thing, if he is hacking, only quantum knows whether it's 1 or 0. Anyone who hacks, he gets bunch of garbage values because the data is traveling, taking any form between 1 and 0, constantly changing. Now again, it's not just, it travels as 0.11 all the time. Every nanosecond, it keeps on changing its value. So when someone is hacking, he gets bunch of these values. Each one is any value between 1 and 0. Each 0 is any value between 1 and 0. Practically it's impossible for anyone to find out what it is. So that's the reason they say quantum is unhackable because of the property. Now, Where is the whole physics coming into picture here? Still computation is in ones and zeros. The whole physics is coming into picture because only quantum particles have a property. Only quantum particles. What are quantum particles? Any particle which is the subject of quantum physics. There are a lot of quantum particles like photons. Photons are quantum particles. Light is light, the fastest thing on face of Earth. It's just its property. Because light is a photon. Light is bunch of photons and photon is a quantum particle. Any quantum particle in the world will have the same property. They are super fast. There are rubidium rare earth metals like rubidiums and CCMs. They're all quantum particles. Every quantum particle has the same property. Every quantum particle behaves the same way. It's always. So I give this example, I'll come back to the coin. In the classical world, ones and zeros were data traveling, data is getting stored. It's either heads or tails. In quantum world, still only quantum knows whether it's 1 or 0, but when it's traveling, it travels in the form of the flipped coin there. When the coin is flipped, till it falls, you don't know whether it's heads or tails. So data storage also is happening in the flipped coin. Data transfer also is happening in the flipped coin. That gives it extreme security. No one can break quantum. Even quantum cannot break quantum. So this gets high security. Now let's talk about speed. Now the speed is, no one is creating this quantum speed. Anything we do using quantum particles automatically gets to this speed. Using the phenomena, this one. There are names for this phenomena which I am going to cover eventually, right? Speed it gets. This is the class. Visually I will show you and then I will try to explain. In classical world, let's assume there is a computation problem, there's data, I will go back to the same thing. In the classical world, the computation on a particular data happens like this because it goes and finds out all the possibilities and tries to get to the best possibility on what you realize. So, in classical world, computation, if I imagine a maze, the problem solving or the probability or whichever computing happens, it happens that way. But in quantum world, it happens like that. I'll explain why. One second, I'm just going to play. In classical world, the problem is solved like that. Quantum world, same problem. It's all like that. Automatically, did you notice the speed difference, the same computation? Quantum has the capability to split. When it's computing in plain English, it has the property to work on multiple possibilities at the same time. It's still same computing world is not changing. Whatever computing you are doing in the classical world, same computing is happening. But the computation, the speed, why it gets so much speed is even furthermore simpler. I will try to do Geeta Madam. Geeta Madam has 10 meetings, each meeting 1 hour, and she has to complete all of them in 1 day. 10 meetings, each 1 hour. So ideally, classical world, what is the computation? If she doesn't take any breaks, it takes 10 hours. In quantum world, what if Geeta Madam can be in 10 different meetings at the same time? Still listen to this meeting as this meeting and other meeting as other meeting. So she is only one person. How much time does it take for her to finish all 10 meetings? 1 hour. That's how quantum works. Quantum makes 10 Geeta Madams, puts it against 10 meetings, finishes all. Everything in 1 hour. But still it's one person. This is the power quantum gets to the table. How it comes to the application, I'll explain you. Just imagine the technology, this kind of a power coming to the table. What all, using this quantum phenomena, using this physics phenomena, how many different products, how much of advancements we could get, how much of problem statements which conventional world are unable to eliminate, how many of them could be solved using this kind of technological advancement which is physics-based phenomenon. Who has this power? Again, no one is writing algorithms to create quantum state. Any particle, any quantum particle, any application done using quantum particles, your quantum, ideal quantum computers, Google quantum computers also, they are playing around with photons only. Okay? You put quantum particles to work. Anything you create using quantum particles, they get you this advancement default. It's their property. We don't need to break our head. So which means any of you, whether AI people or cyber security people, all your products, you start pushing them into this physics phenomenon. So in the classical world, data is stored in bits. In quantum world, we call it qubits. What's the difference between bits and qubits? In qubits, the data is always the flip coin. Bits cannot handle the flip coin. Quantum phenomenon. Data remains same, data travel remains same, but the phenomena changes. Speed, Gita Madam example, making example, you have it. So now I'll take it one step lower. The flip coin, whatever I have explained, it's called in quantum world, the concept is called superposition. The data being in any form between 1 and 0, technically, it's called superposition. So just leave it there, find out. I don't want to bore you getting into the subject, but just remember that superposition. Go to any YouTube, you will find very visual thing. Most of the times you'll find this coin example only. What is superposition means. Now, the second concept, Gita Madam being in two different places, is what happens if a coin which is flipping, which means a quantum particle which is in a superposition, gets entangled with another quantum particle. That's how quantum entanglement. How Gita Madam can be in 10 different places. In quantum, there is a concept called entanglement. You take one flipping coin, you entangle the flipping coin with another coin, and send this coin to US, send this coin to other planets, send this coin to Mars also, no problem. At every instance of time, these two are absolutely synchronized. There are two types of entanglement, symmetric and asymmetric, which means, again I'll go back to the coin. You take a coin, you take two coins and entangle them. So, then one coin is in Mars, one coin is here, you send it to Mars, that other coin. If this coin lands as heads, default this coin will land as heads. And there is an asymmetric, which means if this is heads, this will become tail. But first you have to entangle. To entangle, let's take photons only. Photons are quantum particles. You take two photons, entangle them. Light is a massive system. With that speed, let it go anywhere in the world. This photon, one photon you take it with you. Whatever is happening with that photon which went to Europe or US or whatever it is doing, you can visually see it here. So that is possible with quantum, only quantum. So you can entangle how many ever quantum particles, they are all doing whatever they are doing. You are able to control something here. Isn't it such a beautiful phenomenon? Few things in this quantum science, even Einstein was not able to have an answer, right? Even he said, right, spooky action at distance. No one knows how it is happened. Even today, no one knows how this happens. But all quantum particles has this value. At least we are able to find how to make use of this happen. How can two particles be entangled? We know how to do entanglement. It's easy. You come to my lab, I will show how whenever you set up a quantum lab, you can physically see the two particles being entangled. But how can they remain in the same state, completely in sync with each other? No one knows. We know it will be there, so we are using it. Conceptually, how it happens, no one knows. Now, this is what is the difference between math and physics. Quite a few concepts of physics are unexplainable. Math everything we know about it. Every calculation we know about it. From pi to theta to cos theta, anything there is a definition. In physics, there are quite a few areas where there is no definition, but we can make use of it. It's not too boring, whichever segment, I will only give you one more example, one more thing about quantum particles. They are default, the nature is the God. Quantum is God, that's it. God can go big, go small, they can appear anywhere they want. Everything could be explained using quantum. Quantum particles has all those things. For example, only quantum particles have a phenomenon, it might get a little confusing, but try to. When you are observing, they become particles. When you stop observing, they become waves. Very scary concept. Which means I will explain in plain English. Let's assume anything what you cannot see, like air is a wave, like sound is a wave, right? Anything what you can see is a particle. What is this? Bunch of plastic particles put together. Bunch of metal particles put together. Particles you can see, you can measure how big this bottle is half a liter. Particles you could measure. Something, there's a 1 liter bottle. But these waves still you can measure, but it's pretty tough, they're not visibly seen. So let's take an example of sand. What is sand? Sand is a particle. Okay? No, I would rather take sand is little bit. Marbles. I don't know, when I was playing. Do you guys still play? Yes. Goli. You play. So let's say I have 10 of those goalies in my hand. How do I know 10? Because I'm measuring, I counted. You just see, you know there are a bunch of those goalies, but you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you stop counting, you just stop counting. Imagine this goalie becoming air. Becoming air, which means it became air, this is plain English, it's not much actual concept, but any quantum particle has this property. This goalie becomes air. Once it becomes air, what happens? The goalie is going, air can travel through the door. Anywhere there is hole, air can travel. Right at the moment, again you want to see how many goalies are there, you want to measure second time, they are already somewhere outside. The moment you measure, they become particles. The moment you stop measuring, they become waves. Every quantum particle has this phenomenon. What if we apply this into technology and try to productize? Game changers. So far, physics had never given answers, but finally the world figured out that forget about answers. We know that is happening, let's make use of it. And one person is you're standing here making use of all those and creating products. So this is one more. So like this quantum particles take so much power. Whatever we are doing in the conventional world remains the same, but we will be doing it qubits in future. Qubits are way faster, they are way more secure, and this kind of advancement, quantum gets to the table. I'll keep it in here, learn from wherever you want to. There are some very nice videos. Connect me on LinkedIn, I will send you an extraordinary video which completely changed my mind on this quantum. I never knew about quantum before. I wanted to do something in AI, like everyone was talking about AI. So I was trying to self-teach. Whenever I start, this is my fourth startup. Whenever I want to start something, I always start futuristic. I always get into something in the future so that I would be one of the first there. So I was trying to read so much in AI that wherever I am reading, I'm hitting this quantum. So whenever I hit quantum, I used to stop, and I used to come back again and start generating AI and stuff. So I'm a person who likes to learn a lot, and I do self-teaching. I don't go coaching, because I don't understand those coaching. So I understand videos, I understand visual, I'm a dumb guy. I can't understand what teacher talks on the board. I really cannot understand. But if I see a visual video, I can understand. So I was self-teaching in this AI. Every time, after a month or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was sitting quantum. Then after 3 months, I decided, what is this quantum? Let me find out why every place is appearing. And this whole concept took only 1 week for me to understand, oh, this is quantum. And from there, I decided I was only going to quantum. And there's one video which had completely changed my mind. It's a YouTube video. It's amazing. The guy who had explained with the, it doesn't explain quantum computing, or it explains quantum phenomena in such a beautiful way. If you can understand that video in first time, anyone, it's a 2-hour video. Anyone who can understand that one the first time, it took 8 to 9 times for me to even understand. Every time, 15 minutes, the first minute explanation gets confusing. And at 22 minutes, 15 and 16 gets confusing. So it took 8 to 9 times and almost more than a month for me to take and complete and absorb the entire video into my mind. I can share that with your madam at your own risk. That explains quantum. If you can have that basics, you can also start creating quantum products. It's no rocket science, it's just understanding this phenomenon of math-based versus physics-based, understanding superposition, understanding entanglements, and it gets really easy. So, I talked about this wave and there's another scale part of this quantum. There's something called teleportation. How would we Gita Madam became 10. We have to send her into different rooms, right? Any quantum particle has this property, the concept called teleportation, which means this whole thing is disassembled and reassembled somewhere else. I could send a piece of remote, completely disassembled here, reassembled, which means this remote I could send it to some place, somewhere. My partner is sitting in US, I can send it to. This is possible using quantum physics. There's a concept called teleportation. In one line, what people do is they recreate. I talked about entanglement. The same, every particle in this is entangled with another particle. Create the same shape using the same values of the metal or whatever is used, and then they transport that one to the other side when this still remains here. So that concept of teleportation is there. The first two are already in application. Products are happening in the first two, entanglement and superposition. But teleportation, so far there's only one guy from Switzerland who claimed that he was able to move a tissue paper 4 feet. There's only claim, but there's no experimental results. But a lot of people are working on teleportations worldwide, not India very well, but worldwide. Teleportation very much possible. You can send anything from one place to another place. That's the reason I said gods, whatever gods do, they appear, disappear, and appear someplace. It's all possible with quantum. So this is the power of this quantum gets to the table. The application is there everywhere. Who all can use, who all can get into this quantum? Yeah, we covered this. I'll come back to this slide because I need to first talk about applications. Now, where are the applications of quantum? I have only named few. Basically, quantum application is everywhere. Quantum is a game changer at every place. Talking about Indian defense to telecommunications to logistics, weather forecasting, drug discoveries, using quantum cancer cure is going to be walk-in, walk-out procedure. I'll tell you why, and I'll give you an example also. It's going to be walking. We're not too far. And sir, you said we are far. We are in. We are pretty close. Already products are out in the market, a lot of quantum products are out in the market. And each domain, how we can change the ballgame, that's drug discoveries. Every drug takes at least 3 to 4 years to discover a new drug, break the protein, how the protein is observed. Using quantum computing, the way the probabilities or the randomness goes in quantum, drug discoveries are going to be 3 months, 2 months. Applications are everywhere. Defense, Indian defense. The latest war, Iraq, and they have used quantum sensors on the drones first time in the war. Latest. right? Quantum sensors are so powerful, using same quantum phenomena. Right now there is a submarine till 60 feet, no planet can detect because they're all radar safe or using quantum computing. Even if a submarine is moving, just move at China, you will get a graph here. Something moved at China. So why only quantum sensors have the power? Same thing. We use quantum physics, use all its properties. So these sensors have resolutions to go to thousands and thousands of kilometers. Classical sensors, it can only sense a little bit, little distance. That's it. Now, weather forecasting using quantum computing. Weather forecasting can be too accurate. Right now, if you go to the Google weather or whatever, you give you chances of rain 50%. Using quantum, you can tell which minute, which second, how much rain will be there. That much accuracy is going on. So applications will remain same. Every place it will be upgraded to quantum so that the speed and the security comes in. For example, telecommunications. What is 5G on your phone? It's the speed of the data you get. From 3G to 5G, it took us 15-20 years to get that much little more speed. What happens if quantum telecommunication network is upgraded to quantum? This 5G will become from 1000G. 3G, 4G, just the speed of your internet. It will become 10,000G overnight. Because default quantum has the property of having the super speed. So every place has an application. Each one of you can find your careers in quantum. Every interest, every place, there is a quantum application. Future is all going to be quantum. Anyone's interest in any domain. It's not restricted to IT. Quantum is so much of electronics. Quantum is so much of mechanical. Quantum is so much of computing. So there are four major segments in quantum. Therefore, this is very important for you guys if you want to find your career. The whole India, not world, the entire world is seeing sounds of quantum communication. And I think there are four segments: quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum sensing, quantum materials, or quantum particles. The last one is easy for you to find out. Find out how many quantum particles are there. Right now we only know 6 or 7. Photons, rubidium, cesium, rare earth metals. There might be few more. So there are a lot of research how efficiently to use this. That research and that whole evolution is quantum materials. So this particular quantum material need a very niche area. We're talking about some metallurgy, engineering and all that. So this will be only very few academias or very few research institutes will handle this. The other three, you all have huge applications. Conventional world, if you say IT or computer science, the directly transform to quantum computing. Whatever you are learning and doing in your computer science today, tomorrow in the quantum world, how do you write those quantum algorithms? How do you use the quantum phenomena and manipulate the data or process the data? That's all quantum computing. Conventional IT is, or traditional IT will become quantum computing, quantum IT. Quantum communications. Quantum communications is all quantum hardware. Quantum computer is needed only for quantum computing. You don't need quantum computer for communications and sensing. There's a myth in the world thinking that to do anything you need anything in quantum, you need a quantum computer. No, it's a myth. Quantum is a phenomenon. Only quantum computing. To write programs in quantum, you need a quantum computer. Because right now to write programs, traditional programs, what do you use? To compile servers. Whatever classical servers you're using, that's what in the quantum world is quantum computer. Right now only IBM has a quantum computer, Google has a quantum computer, and the quantum computer size of this building. Eventually it becomes smaller and smaller. But to do anything in quantum, we need a quantum computer. If you heard this, it's a myth. Only to write quantum program, to compile the quantum programming, you need a quantum computer. Quantum communications completely hardware using photons, we play around with photons. As I said, we are the first company to have ever created room temperature rack compatible quantum memory. You know what it is? Our quantum memory is nothing but it all happens in a hardware box. The box is like this big. We take a bunch of photons from light. We use laser. We shoot bunch of photons at a very particular frequency. Out of bunch of photons, we identify one single photon. These photons are so fast that if you try to mess it up, they die. So we identify one single photon. To play with photons, you need to slow it down. You need to slow the speed of it. So we slow the photon, we store information in it. One photon can store so much information you won't even believe. So we store information in it and we leave the photons. Again, back to its property. It goes lightning fast. Same at the retrieval again. You have to find that one single photon, slow it down, retrieve the information. This is what we use quantum memory. And everything is in a box. Everything we do, we already started selling. IIT Madras is our first customer. So quantum is evolving to a point where in Chennai, IIT is the first institution who already is quantum. They have complete quantum secure network. All IIT buildings are under quantum secure network, which I want to talk about what is quantum secure network. So this is quantum communication. Quantum sensing I already talked about. Any place when you go to the hospital where there is a sensor, MRI is all about sensors. Your X-ray machine is a sensor. Your endoscopy is a sensor. Any place where they are using sensors from the Wi-Fi sensors to whatever, all of them could be upgraded to quantum sensors. They all look and feel, everything will be same, but here it's not about speed, it's about resolution. Very simple example, medical field I'll tell you. X-ray, any part of body, when you go for X-ray, it gives you nakedness. It gives you how much crack in the bone. But if the doctor is unable to find out, he will ask you to go for MRI. What MRI does? The same part in English, in technical words it's called resolution, but in plain English, MRI gives you magnification. The same problem, it magnifies 10 times. So that the doctor really knows how much is the crack, how much is there. Now guess what? The same MRI, if you change it to RF sensor to quantum sensor, it can give you any quantum sensor can give you magnification to the cellular level. What is your tiniest particle of human body? Cells. It can give you the magnification of what is the status of every cell in your body. Now do you understand why I said cancer cure is going to walking backward? What is cancer? Bad cells getting multiplied enormously by hours. By the time you try to kill you, composer more are appearing. Bad cells enormously getting multiplied by hours and days. What if you have a report with all the cells which have cancer in that area? And it is showing each cell how much percent. This cell has 100%, this cell has 20%, this cell has 0.0001%. Because cancer is almost one area, right? How easy it is for the doctor to, if he has a map, he sits there, he goes and scrapes up all those white cells and kills all the hospitals with a little probe, no need of cut surgery also. If all the cells of cancer are killed, there's such a tiny part of our human body that you will not even feel that they are getting killed. Because there's so many. If every cell is killed, there are the bad cells will multiply. This is on the same concept, there are so many white papers. People are studying using quantum sensors. It's as simple. You scrape up all the cancer cells, walk in, walk out. They give an apple or orange and they say the cancer is over. That's possible with quantum sensors. The resolutions are to the, or the magnification is to cell level, every cell. And just this little piece of our skin has few millions of cells. What if you know the status of every single cell? It's a game changer. So we also have a quantum biosensor. That's exactly what we are working on. We are doing a quantum sensor for heart. You go for EKGs, or you go for MRIs, I don't know how many, at your age you have never seen an MRI, but it's so big, so long. Quantum sensors know this size. You just move it like this, you can recreate the entire heart outside. Quantum sensors measure magnetic pulse. All conventional sensors measure electric pulse in the cell. A little technical work. That's the kind of advancement quantum is going to get. This is also all hardware. Materials, combination of hardware and some of the computing. Quantum computing and already explained. There are the applications, this presentation is on anyone wants, you can take it from her. Applications are everywhere. And that's little about quantum. And with this kind of technology advancement, with this kind of spooky things and scary concept coming into application, obviously, if there is a hero, there has to be a villain. So there's a villain in this whole story. And that is called quantum threat. With the evolution of quantum, there's one danger the entire world has. Why entire world is going for quantum is because of this. Not many are interested, only very advanced countries are interested in productization, getting technology advancement using quantum in communications and sensing. But worldwide there's a problem. Quantum is so powerful that we already started with the statement, it can break anything, it can hack anything. RSA encryption can be broken using quantum computing. Your RSA encryption can be broken in less than 7 minutes. Okay, I'll give you the proof also. Someone had already broke RSA encryption in 2024, which is 1028. But right now, I think 2048 is the latest version. Still no one cracked that, but it doesn't take much time. So there is something called quantum threat. Using quantum, some of the algorithms have given, right? There are symmetric, asymmetrical algorithms, symmetrical algorithms, too technical. But just remember, RSA encryption is the most powerful encryption. Even US defense users, Indian defense users, all most of the top secret are all encrypted using RSAs. Using quantum computing, RSA can be broken in less than 7 minutes. Why no one is doing yet? Because not many have access, at least an access to the quantum computer. Not many have access to quantum computer. But what happens when the quantum is evolving to a point that everyone and anyone has access to quantum computer? Some guy in China, or China as a country itself, what if they hack our reserve bank? What if they hack our stock exchange? What happens if someone hacks Reserve Bank of Pakistan and takes $500 billion? That's it, it's over. That's all they have. The country goes to civil war. There's no food, there's no water. Using quantum, you can take down a country by hours. Living technological, even India, we are superficially technologically advanced, even US. So far, no country is quantum safe. Every country's data is vulnerable. PM's conversations to anything could be hacked using quantum computing. The entire world is thinking about quantum because how do you save yourself from this bad guys using quantum computing? There's only one solution. Every country has to get to this. Else they are wiped out from the face of earth. This is not a scary story. This is absolute fact. That's the reason you guys have so much scope in quantum. You can make so your whole career is a definite, it's an affirmative. If you come into quantum, it's an affirmative career. First comers always have the advantage. There are very few less resources because look at the work. The entire country needs to become quantum safe. And it's going to take so many companies, so many people to get a country onto quantum safe network. So, yeah, the second thing what these hackers are doing. Right now, whoever doesn't have access to quantum computer, they're just taking the data and storing it. They're not hacking it yet because they cannot. But once quantum comes, they want to hack data at that point. They're just taking a dump and keeping it. Because even if the data is old, still the data is valuable. Your Aadhaar card stays the same, your bank account stays the same. Even after 5 years, someone is having this done, which they have just stored. They still get the data. So a lot of people are doing this now. Mostly in China. Harvest now, decrypt later. Harvest is just keep on getting data encrypted, keep it there. Future let's hack it once the quantum is there. So one was very clear. So sooner the country becomes quantum safe, sooner we have a risk of getting damaged as a country. So the long-term solution for this one is this whole concept of quantum scale. The world calls it as Y2Q, near to quantum. Near to quantum is nothing but the day when quantum evolves to a point that it gets access to anyone and everyone. That year is called year to quantum. The scary fact is we don't know when it is. 7 years back I thought it's going to be 2045. 2 years back I thought it's going to be 2032. Today you ask me, it's going to be anywhere between 2028 2029. Any country who is not becoming quantum safe between these two, this quantum is evolving so fast. You are wiped out from the face of that. First, so far only 11 countries are adopting quantum, started becoming quantum safe. Unfortunately, India leads in that. Just imagine what happens to Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. There will be a global war where very few countries will be left. All the weak will go with evolution of quantum. Unless we become safe and we help Sri Lanka become safe. So, unless the other countries step up, there are only 11 players at this point. And this year to quantum is very scary. So much work. The only solution for this one is in quantum computing. Quantum communication, quantum sensing gets technological advancement. But this quantum safe country level can be done only using quantum computing and some part of communication. So, this is what you are saying. They are all publications from one of the biggest magazines in the world about this quantum security, how to save. And guess what? Check this. October 14, 2024, Chinese reporters, this is PCMag, published information. 2024, Chinese already claimed that they have broken lower versions of RSA. 1028, if they have broken, for them, maximum 2028 I will give. To come to 20, whatever is the latest, the entire world has max 1.5 years to 2 years. China had invested $13 billion in quantum. You know, 1 billion is 1,000 million. $13 billion so far. Published information. How much India is spending? There's national quantum mission, 6,000 crore. 6,000 crore is still 0.7 billion, approximately 0.6 or 0.7. So here the cost of living is cheap, so relatively also it is 3 billion. Just imagine 3 billion, the budget for national quantum mission is that much. How much is spending? Because China already spent on the research and production 13 billion, how advanced they are. All of you getting to quantum computing, you will have so much to do because the solution is using PQC, post-quantum cryptography, which comes under quantum computing or quantum secure network. If you want to make your university quantum secure, quantum computing. You can ask me, how do I get access to quantum computer? I don't. There are ways. Quantum has evolved a point. I'll get to that point. These are some of the investments. These are two investments. This data is taken almost 2 years back. You see all those units that put in $5 billion, Australia, all billions and billions of Australia, Netherlands, UK. India is the smallest, but we are still one of them. We are really moving fast. The National Quantum Mission is giving funding for labs. Any academia wants to start quantum lab, they are giving 1 crore. Have you ever seen India moving so fast? Every academia they are giving 1 crore to set up a quantum lab. So they are moving so fast. So long-term solution, how do you make the entire country quantum safe is there's a communication network. Okay, Any country always owns a communication network. All this BSNL, Airtel, Jio, they have to lease line from government. No country gives the communication network to a private. No country. Communication network is all owned by government. The entire communication network of the country should be upgraded to quantum or should be made to quantum safe network, and that name is called quantum key distribution network. Any place when you hear QKD, is nothing but it's a system to enable the entire communication channel across the country. So this is like building a shield around the country. So anyone using quantum has, they cannot penetrate through, because quantum cannot break itself. Quantum can break anything, but it can't break itself. So the only solution to save yourself from quantum attack is become quantum safe. So we are working with the Indian government in building this product only. National Quantum Mission, the product whatever we are doing is a very key component called quantum repeater. All we have to do is solution is today we have this telecommunication network. On each tower there is something called amplifier. The amplifier should be replaced with quantum repeater. That's it. Country is quantum safe. So we are working on an 18-month project on building quantum repeater for India. So one guy, 2 hours video, 7 years back. Physics, we are national. It's like how many people get an opportunity to serve them. This phenomenon itself is amazing. Anything you do in quantum, you are literally serving the country at this point. Once it gets evolved, once we all become quantum safe. So the long-term solution is the entire country should become quantum safe. Short-term, every organization working under the country, entire Reserve Bank should become quantum safe. You cannot wait till all the countries become. The entire US defense should become, Indian defense should become quantum safe. There is another solution there. The long-term solution is quantum key distribution network. The short-term solution is using PQC, post-quantum algorithms, and some of the quantum computing. You build a network. You add, if Reliance has 200 offices, any communication between Reliance offices and the servers, we all should add a quantum wrapper. The quantum wrappers are built using quantum computing. It's a programming language using some of the algorithms in quantum. That is short term. Every organization under the country should become quantum safe for any critical infrastructure like defense, healthcare, drug discovery, they all should become quantum safe. The country is working on becoming quantum safe. And that's exactly the product we have. One, we are working on making entire India quantum safe as quantum communications product, which is quantum repeater is hardware. We also have a product called Q40. We already started selling this. This Q40 is a quantum wrapper. It takes your data storage and data transfer wherever this is transferred. Still it's under RSA encryption and all. It will not disturb any of the RSA encryption. It will go and add a layer. We call it quantum wrapper. It will go and add a layer of quantum secure or quantum security when the data is traveling or it's stored in the server. It acts as a shield, which means this will only save you from quantum attacks, not all the cyber security. So this is one product we have. I already talked about quantum memory or the quantum repeater. That's a hardware product. This is software, and this is all about us. These are some of the products I have. Qube cluster. You can ask, how do you have access to a quantum computer? So we are problem solvers. We are not money makers. Of course, we want to make money, but we only want to create products where we can solve a problem for the country, for an individual. So we have created a product called Qube cluster. Today, if you want to compile any algorithm on IBM quantum computer, they are doing something called Qiskit, a downloadable thing. Qiskit, they give you 4 minutes or 4 qubits per month for one user. If you I want one more qubit, one more minute. We need to pay $76. $76 is almost 7,500, 7,000 rupees. Who is going to pay 7,000 rupees? So right now only two quantum computers are there. So they are actually busy, they are pricing. So practically if you want to write and compile something using Qiskit, you should sell one of your land or an apartment. So we have created, there is a problem statement. All the rich people, rich countries now they will full advance. Or maybe for US, IBM will say, I will give you a 10% cost, or they'll give it as a grant. For other countries, they don't give. We have created something called Q cluster. Q cluster is nothing but it's a quantum computer simulator. Everything what you can do on a quantum computer, you can do it on Q cluster. Limited to 28 qubits. Not very expensive. So now, what I have done in India is facilitating. For your algorithm, minimum must to do algorithm for coding, testing. This is more than enough. You can create miracles out of 28 qubits. Final compilation, last compilation, this is a quantum computer simulator. If at all you want to test it really on the computer, do that one last compilation after all the coding, debugging and everything on a real quantum computer, Qiskit. For 7,000 rupees, one compilation is done. For all the development, you do it once. So this we have, that's all our communications, which is I already got quantum repeater, we have a quantum biosensor. Someday if you either come to our lab, so what I have done again to address the problem statement, I want quantum to evolve as fast as possible in India. So I'm coming all the way here and I'm sitting and talking to these colleges. My only intention is I want more people to come in. India is not going to go anywhere with this kind of speed. Some people are only thinking about quantum computer only we have, where we have the basic awareness is not there. About everyone, there's so much scope for all of you. First come, get into quantum. Everyone should come. A CEO who is doing so much, coming in very. The only interest is you guys are future. You have to put my name here. I need resources. You evolve. Right? Quantum biosensor also we have one thing to facilitate all of you. What I have done. These are the 3 years back. All these hardware products, software quantum computing, I will be a simulator. But how do people get into communication sensing? All my hardware products. I downloaded them, they are all black boxes, which means you cannot open, if you open the dice. But I have downloaded them, made it open boxes for academia, so that you can see how the biosensor works, how the quantum sensor works. We give the open box to you, and we have created a solution called a quantum lab. Of course, Quantum AI Global doesn't do. There is a subsidiary of ours which is called Q Academy. All these products are part of a lab package we are giving to a lot of academics. So these are the academic packages. We have been working with IIT Chennai for more than 6 years. The most advanced quantum communication in entire India is IIT Madras, Dr. Anil Prabhakar and Professor Kamakoti. So we are doing a lot of products in joint collaboration with them. But all these we will get as part of this lab. And the test, again, and the problem solver, right? First in India, this is a little box. It is half size of my phone. It is this much. I wanted to create infrastructure for every student. Quantum computer simulator, single user, quantum computer simulator. Every home will have a quantum computer to have this. Price, less than $30. How does quantum evolve? You are talking about 7,500 per minute. Full time, use it for single user, but this one, the Q cluster is multiple users that goes into universities. This is for every student, single user, 28 qubit quantum computer simulator. So this for you guys only, this I have created not to make money or something at the cost. Every person should have. Quantum is not going to evolve something on academia, setting up a lab. I will ask my madam, principal approval. Let's not wait. If you are interested, Let's get it done. YouTube videos are enough. You don't need a teacher. Sorry, madam. I'm not trying to challenge you. They are really setting up course curriculum as minus and all. Madam, you won't hear this. Guys, you don't need making courses. A mechanical engineer is able to self-teach. I haven't taken a single course. I just went by books, videos. Available in the open now. I didn't pay for a single video. If I am able to create products in quantum, but you young guys, our principles, not the principles died. They're not that time. We can process. You guys can do it just like that. Videos, spend your extra time on these videos. Quantum is a story. Listen to it as a story, don't listen to it as a subject, because so many scary things, they're not stories, right? That's what I got interested by that. Just use this, don't wait for 1 year, get it good. That's what I would say. This is common sense, this is not a subject. Physics is a science, science is common sense, it's not a subject. If you look at it with common sense, you'll find a story. You see it as a subject, completely bad. Physics will be very tough for you if you see it as a subject. This is our team, all young guys. If you take up my age, from the entire average age of my team is 27 years. I hate old people like you. I want young guys, I want thinkers. They're all from IIT, most of them are from IITs, Defense Institute of Technology. Most of them IIT, Defense Institute of Technology or BITS. I know some people from this group come join us. We look for talent, we don't look for degree, we look for the enthusiasm, we look for the problem statement. If anybody can identify and say, someday I want to solve this problem statement, I learned how I can use quantum computing to come to have a job. So that's it, that's me, LinkedIn, it's me, our company. Unfortunately, I cannot share my phone number or WhatsApp because it is so private and I don't even have them. But do contact me on LinkedIn. If not for immediate, I will try to address any questions. Faculty, I will not react, but just put the student from, your first line should say student from M.G.R. I will make sure I find them, I will guide you to whatever extent I can. But this is only for you guys students. I want to invest all my time in students. They're all invested on the lecturer's side. That's all I have. I'm sorry if I went too long or made it boring. I can take up any questions and answers if anyone has. I'm supposed to finish by 1:30, one little longer. Any questions? No questions? So no one understood anything, or either you understood everything or you didn't understand anything if there are no questions?
Yes, please having some question. Yes? Awesome.
So maybe you're not asking why are you so shy?
You told that you put data into photons, but physics is a different thing and technology data is a different thing. How do you put data into photons and get your output?
Is walking and running two different things?
No, sir.
Is walking and sleeping two different things? Technology and science are also not two different things. Your first statement itself is wrong. Science technology is built using science for that. It's as simple as that. Technology and science are not two different at all. You cannot build technology if you don't use science. Now, which form of science you are taking, that's different. Like, if I walk, I go down in 1 minute. If I run, I half a second. But for that, first I have to eat. Everything is science. Performance is technology. Anyone else? Thank you. Thanks for listening. I think the
We have one more question.
every hero comes to the villain. And we have to fight good people, have to fight against the bad, which means we all together should create a solution. Creating solution is not the key. Creating the solution fast. Bad people are growing. Before the growth, good people should grow, which means we should create solutions fast. So I'm inviting all of you coming to quantum. It's no rocket science. Anyone who is doing IT, anyone who is doing programming can do the same to do the programming quantum. Just little bit of understanding how quantum works. That's it. All of us should try. Every one of you should try. And by the way, your marks doesn't reflect your intelligence. There's no one smart. There is no smarter than other. You are all at the same level. The one who understands each person is good at something. Someone is very good in handwriting. Okay? Someone is very good in practical. But this handwriting fellow always gets good marks because same content, bad handwriting, good handwriting automatically gets 5 marks more. Default, like that, each person is good at something. Figure out what you are good at and put that one to the best practice. Everyone at the same level. There is no smart in the world. All are same level. The same person you are talking to, I said I'm a mechanical engineer, but I didn't say what are my marks. Right now you have grades, but in our time, there's first distinction, first class, second class, third class.
They also have the same.
I am second class mechanical engineer, passed from the third grade engineering college. Nothing will stop you. Your intelligence doesn't depend on marks at all. I try to get the best out of myself. I never understood when a teacher explained. Never understand. I am a visual guy. I am a practical person. So I use the best of my strength. That's it. My marks, if someone sees Narendra Modi, other day he called me for a meeting. He sees, he will say, throw the guy out. I have two subjects which are 41. Our corporate is corporate. But why I am telling you this story is, never think that person is intelligent. Your failure starts from that point. I am not as smart as that person. The comparison, you already fail. And from there, keep on failing. You are what you are. That's it. Start thinking on those lines, believe in yourself. Stay away from bad companies. That's it. You are it. Thank you.
How do you view if we control traffic system with quantum communication?
You can do it. Very much fun. But the burning problem is save the country so that you can figure out the traffic. It will come. Traffic, logistic management, every place continuity. The perfect will get out.
You have previous policies, how the quantum have impacted to secure the data and attacks to reset the quantum impact implementing networks, network world.
What was the question? I'm not able to hear.
In the view of business policies, how the quantum is important, sir?
With respect to digital forensic,
Cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Cryptocurrency itself is I don't know if I can say this or not. It's a dark web world. There is nothing. But I'll tell you, they're saying there's bitcoins and no one able to find where exactly our are lost. Let quantum completely evolve. I will distribute one bitcoin for each one. Hacking that one also should not be that big of a deal. In fact, it should be most easiest because it's kind of built on the quantum practice. There will be a day where Bitcoin is like this Robin Hood style. Some cyber attack will happen on the currency exchanges. This is my guess. I can post it on crypto.com, one of the biggest. Steal all the Bitcoins and distribute them on. Don't get surprised if your account suddenly you see a Bitcoin. Bitcoin in your thing. This will happen in the future. All these things. But this one, maybe 5-6 years. The entire crypto will be wiped out. If you see when the crypto came in, I also was thinking 7 years back about a bunch of coins, you name it, from Ethereum to ADA to everything. It was going through, and suddenly at one point it stopped. Now everything is gone. So difference is no longer the bleed is not there. It will die or it will get hacked. My opinion, don't tell this to the world, go outside. This is my own personal opinion.
How do you relate the post content to the difference?
What is it? I think we are running out of time also. Some of the students want to go for lunch. They're saying we're continuing on building that. All of you have to share in quantum, we should decide it.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay. It's an eye-opening session for me. I guess it's also an eye-opening session for our students.
Then you should get a lab for each one of them.
Yes, I guess you all might have understood what exactly the quantum computing is. 10 years back, we were all talking about AI. Now AI is ruling the world. Today we have started to know about quantum computing. Wait and see. After a year after, quantum is going to rule the world. So we all have to step into the new technology always. We all have to learn every day whatever the new technology is coming in. Through quantum cloud AI, we are just going to step into the world of quantum computing. Thank you, Sanjay, being with us today. And
Thank you.
As we wrap up today's quantum technology awareness session, I'd like to take a moment and thank everyone who contributed to making this event a success. A big thank you to our guest speaker, Mr. Sanjay Chittore, founder and CEO of Quantum AI Global Hyderabad, for an insightful and engaging session. The perspectives of quantum technology has given us a fresh outlook and a lot to reflect on. I would like to thank Dr. Additional Registrar, Dr. Mani Pandey, Dr. S.P. Opportunity and UCC, and all the heads of allied departments for their constant support. My sincere appreciation goes to Dr. D. Sir and Ms. C. Subbulakshmi for organizing the secretaries for their efforts in planning and organizing this event. Also extend thanks to Dr. Rekha Kukri, Association for Media, for providing this information. And finally, thank you to all the participants for your presence and involvement.